Good afternoon, everyone, and happy Easter season as we get closer to that wonderful holiday. And we're here today. Pastor Ram is joining us to go through a few details as we look towards going back and worshiping in person. And we want to make sure everyone has their questions answered and is as excited and feeling as positive as we are about this return to worship, and also some of the other alternatives that we've been able to incorporate. Just today, we were able to update our FM transmitter so that it picks up all the input from our sound system in the church, and that will be a great addition to going back indoors. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Ram to kind of get us going here and go through some of the modifications that we need to be aware of as we look to inside worship.
Sure, John, before we start, I just want to say how much I love your background.
Well, thank you. You too.
I'm sure that's not your house, but it is spring. And I think all of us are looking forward to spring. So
yeah, I had to go with some green today because it is actually St. Patrick's Day, but that's about, I don't have too many green clothes other than my Packer gear. So we'll go with the green tree.
Well, you're looking good. Yep. Looking good.
Thanks.
So anyway, yeah, we're excited to come back. The leadership team has actually been working on this for several months, waiting for the day when the numbers started to bounce down. And indeed they have in Fond du Lac County and Dodge County, which are our two main counties that our church draws from. And the numbers continue to go down. And so unless something crazy happens between now and Easter, we're excited to get back into the sanctuary at Easter, to go back to at least our 2 service times. If we need more, we may adjust for that because of capacity and all that. We still have to, as we come back, just know that things are not normal yet. We're not coming back, full force like we were before this whole thing started a year ago, but just getting back feels good. And so we're going to do it together. We're going to try and do it safely. And Jessica actually sent out an all church email today, and I'm sure she will stick that in the mail too, the snail mail for others, some Trinity Church inside worship modifications. And what you're going to see as you come into the church for worship is you're going to see posted, I think, on every door, kind of a list exactly like you see when you go into the doctor's office today. If you're feeling this way, don't come in. If you're feeling, and we're going to trust people to please be honest and please, check yourself out. And if you're not feeling good, now's not the time to take a chance. That's for sure, because everybody is not vaccinated. We have a good number, thanks to John and some others helping out. We have a good number of folks that are vaccinated, fully vaccinated in our congregation. And we've got some that are halfway there, but by Easter, I'm thinking, we'll have a good number there. So, things like we're going to still require masks and so forth, worn properly. For worship, there won't be corporate singing, but I'm so thankful for the alerts and others who will be providing music at a distance from up front so that we can have the music during the service. The length of the service will be very much like we experienced last summer as we worshiped outside or in the parking lot after that. With the FM transmitter, it'll be about 40 minutes long. And so that's how long the service will be. We'll need to move people in and then move them out and then clean in between. We have to sanitize by guidelines that we're going by, and then get ready for the next service. And we can do that with your help. And so mask required. The social distancing will be obvious because John and Gordy Meatball have been working on the sanctuary. Spacing everybody out. They've been measuring things. We're going to have stickers put up, I guess, so you'll know where to sit. It'll be super easy, but we'll help you through it and all that. And then we'll kind of give some direction as far as people as they come in the building and as they go out of the building, and do that safely too. If you want to visit, we just ask that you visit at a safe distance and do that outside in the parking lot. And that can be done before service or after service too. And so there will be some white lines on the floor just to block off for the front of the church because our worship leaders, and John is one of those, that'll be leading worship from the front, and our musicians and Jackie Scharfenberg also, maybe others. We need to be like, if we take our masks off and talk and lead, which is what we want to do when we're leading worship, there has to be like a 16-foot space between us and the first people in the pews. And so we're taking care of all that for you. You won't have to worry about any of it, but we're just kind of explaining to you how it's going to work. And then the offering baskets, of course, won't be passed, but they'll be available at the back of the church each time that we gather. And so we'll just kind of start with these modifications. As things get better and better, we'll adjust as we go. And then that day is going to come, John, when we're going to get back to doing things the way Trinity knows how to do them, as far as welcoming people goes, and wide open, and maybe even giving hugs again, John. I don't know. It's been a long time. But for the huggers, this has been a really hard time. So those are some things that we're going to expect. And again, all those things will be posted as you come in and as you leave. So plenty of information. You won't have to look for it. It'll be very obvious.
Right. And we want everyone to feel as welcome as possible. And we want to take care of these types of guidelines and informational things beforehand, so we can have our focus once we're in the sanctuary on worshiping, and so we're in the right frame of mind for that. So that's the goal.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So, and then I don't know, you tell me, you want me to go to the second thing that we're talking about, or?
Sure. Reservations, and we want everybody to know how to proceed.
We feel like we're running a supper club or something, make reservations. But at this particular time, because of capacity, limitations, we're in phase 2. So that bumps us up quite a ways. I think our capacity is going to be, I'm not going to give you an exact number, but it's going to be around 100 people, because our sanctuary seats about 325 or so, something like that. And so, it's a good sized sanctuary. We don't pack people in like the airlines do. But we want people to be comfortable, but we want people to be safe too. So we're going to have all that measured out, but we still need reservations. We need to know what your intention is. And I think that's the main thing. And there's going to be several ways that reservations can be made, but it's going to be up to you as participants here at Trinity and participants in our worship time to make sure you make the reservation every week. So one way to do that is to call into the church office. And this is all in the info that you were sent today in the email. So it's all in there. But Jess said between 9 a.m. Tuesday and noon on Thursday, when she's in the office, she's in from 9 to 1 each day of those 3 middle days of the week, that you can just call her and make a reservation. If you do email, there's also going to be an e-invite response. That is the easiest way to do it, is when you get that email for reservations, just shoot the message back, answer it, and let Jess know what you need, and she'll get you on the list. The other is just plain email, or phone the office and leave a message if it's not during hours or whatever. But it has to be before noon on Thursday each week for that upcoming weekend. So does that help, John?
Mm-hmm. Right. And even though we're taking reservations, you do not have to tip the ushers.
You do not. So. That's right. That's right.
Okay.
Although I'm sure they'd appreciate that. But, the other thing I want to mention, John, because you mentioned it earlier, is if there are folks who don't feel comfortable yet coming into the building, that's okay. There are 2 other ways. It will always be online. We will always have an online presence. I know a lot of folks are getting tired of that, but I think that will continue even after this pandemic, somebody declares it officially ended. We're going to continue with that, because that's an outreach ministry that reaches out to folks beyond our area, our immediate geographical area. And it's been very effective during this time. We've had several that have joined our congregation during this time. So that will be available. And the other thing is the FM transmitter. We do have that hooked up. And so if you want to be there when worship is going on, you can be there. And you don't have to make a reservation for this. If you want to sit in your car and tune into the radio, 87.9, you are welcome to do that, because we are set up and ready to go that way too, so that our worship service will be broadcast, at least in the block that we're in. Right. So if you park anywhere in the parking lot, you talk about that, John, you tested it.
Right. I believe that we tested it out today, and I think the range would be sufficient if you're parking anywhere in our back parking lot. But just to be safe, if you wanted to let us know that you're planning on coming and staying in your car, we'll try to leave the parking spots alongside the fellowship hall wing, maybe available to you, and we'll kind of keep those a little bit roped off. So we'll ask everyone to, park elsewhere if they're coming in person. And so including the handicap stalls are there, but we'll try to leave that row of stalls for people who want to sit in their cars. And the
We
other
have
question
orange
that I had,
cones.
pardon?
We have orange cones.
Oh, yeah, okay, we have lots of cones.
Yes, we can do that.
The other question that I just thought of is for the last year now, the online service that's posted was recorded on a Thursday, but I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but the intent now is to record one of the either 8 or 10 o'clock services and then post that as our online version, correct? Or
No,
not yet?
no. Jessica's putting it all together via video,
Okay,
and she'll just go ahead and put it up so that it's ready to go on Sunday morning like usual.
okay,
For anybody who wants to stay home, for
okay,
now. Eventually, we're going to be asking people to come back. Eventually,
okay.
and even in your pajamas if you want to, because I know some people have really gotten used to this.
Hmm.
Bring your coffee, bring your pajamas, whatever, and come worship with us. But yeah, but those are options.
Okay.
So at home on video on YouTube, and in the parking lot via FM.
And the technology for actually doing a live stream is in the works. We've been making some very proactive steps in that regard. So hopefully sometime early summer, we'll be able to live stream one of those services then.
Yes, we are working toward live streaming, and John's heading up that project. We're putting some new cameras in the sanctuary. That'll be happening over the next few months, and getting that done so that we can actually live stream in the future. Yeah, that'll be exciting. That'll be exciting. So I love saying this, John, because you and I aren't involved. But if anybody has any questions, and this is in the materials that were sent out too,
Mhm.
please feel free to contact the church office during office hours. Jessica would be happy to answer your questions, or Gordy Meatball Zimmerman, or Kathy Drexler. And both of their phone numbers, of course, are in that email that went out too. So
Right.
if you have any specific questions, feel free to contact them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there are a few more details to work out, but as we get to them, they will be made available to everyone. But I think this is a good start. And as Rob said, if anyone has any questions, you should have no trouble finding somebody that can answer them, or at least tell you where to find the answer.
Right. Now, before we stop our conversation here, I really do need to make a statement, John, and this isn't a negative Nelly kind of a thing. This is just the truth. In order to do what we're trying to do and to come back safely so that everybody feels secure, that's really important, and that they feel loved and they feel comfortable. We need everybody's help with this. And so if we say, here's the guidelines, could you please just help us out? Because this is the teacher in me, I guess. And John, you've been there, and well, you're still there. But as a teacher, is to say that if we cannot do this and all work together, we just can't continue doing it. So we're going to have to really help each other and walk hand in hand on this one, and make sure we get through this in a positive way.
And if we all realize that we're all in different places, but we
Yeah.
respect each other's right to be in the place that they're at, we should be fine.
Right. Sounds good.
All right.
Good.
All right. Thank you. And I know
Yeah.
we've got the sun is starting to set. I'm going to get off to this beautiful tropical sunset now, and
Sounds good.
enjoy the rest of St. Patrick's Day. So we'll see everyone's real soon.
I know it's happy. I know it's St. Patty's Day, but happy Easter too, John.
Yes. Happy Easter, of course.
Thank you.
So, all right. Thank you. See everybody real soon.